Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. Again, because I've been asked about it roughly 700 times in the last 48 hours. And it involves the recruitment of maybe the top available high school player available. I don't think he is by the recruiting rankings. I think our buddy Jaden Quaintance is probably number one. But Liam McNeeley, the 6'8" wing, originally from Texas, played at Montverde Academy, and there is a lot to talk about in his recruitment. So what do we need to know? Well, when we last talked Liam McNeeley, I think it was over the weekend. But I bring it up because Liam McNeeley, 6'8" wing, originally from Texas, now at Montverde, was set to visit UConn this week. Visited on Monday and Tuesday. And what I can tell you, I didn't talk to anybody on the UConn staff, but as you can guess, UConn alum, spent a couple years there, spent a lot of money that I didn't have at the time, paying my tuition. And I know some people at UConn. And I feel very confident that they went into the week thinking they were going to get him, and they came out of the visit on Tuesday thinking they were going to get him. The UConn fans, like any other fan base, they were nuts on social media, telling me, oh, you know, Liam followed this guy on Twitter. Liam's mom followed this coach on Instagram. They followed the UConn strength and conditioning here and there and da-da-da-da. I had one buddy tell me, I don't know if it's true. UConn fans, don't get mad at me. But I was told, like, the official UConn Twitter accounts and social media accounts don't follow a player until he actually commits. And so I think UConn was very much on commitment watch, really all of Tuesday into Wednesday. The problem is, and we know how this works, if you don't get a kid committed when he's on campus, there's always something that may have happened or that could have happened. But once you get that kid away from campus, if you don't get that commitment, you start to worry. And that's where I think UConn fans are, is I do think there's another school that's emerged. For UConn, you know what this actually reminds me of? Last year, UConn aggressively recruited a kid by the name of Nick Timberlake, who ended up at Kansas. But he took a visit to UConn, and I remember it was like done. It was like, we're bringing him in to cross the T's, dot the I's, and size him up for a uniform. And what ended up happening? Leaves campus, doesn't commit. Leaves campus, doesn't commit. Leaves campus, doesn't commit. Then a few days later commits to Kansas, to the shock of everyone. Now, for UConn fans, it ended up working out okay, because for UConn fans, they basically sat there and said, well, you know what? We ended up with some guy named Cam Spencer. I think it all worked out for the best. I think everything worked out fine for UConn fans. But at the same time, it has those vibes, or it was done until it wasn't done. And it is worth noting, I think there's another school that is very much back in the mix for Liam McNeeley. I think it's probably Kentucky. I don't think anything's official. But listen, if Liam McNeeley leaves without committing, that's not a great sign. Now, by the way, I always should give the caveat. I'm recording here in real time. Maybe he'll commit in an hour or 4 or 10, and this all looks stupid. Maybe I'll look like an idiot. But I don't get the sense that he is on the verge of committing to UConn here on Thursday night or Friday morning, just days after leaving campus without the commitment. And so the longer you wait, the more it allows other schools to get involved. And I do believe Kentucky is going to be a factor. First off, we talked about it to lead the show. Alvin Brooks, the new assistant coach for Kentucky, was just hired. Where is he from? He's from Baylor. Where is Baylor? In Texas. Where is Liam McNeeley originally from? Texas. And so there are obvious ties there. And listen, Mark Pope isn't backing down on anybody, nor should he. And I think it'll be interesting to see, as I have not heard that there is a visit coming, but it'll be interesting to see if there is a visit in the works. Because at the end of the day, Kentucky gets that kid on campus, they can sell him a couple things. One, the NIL is going to be great. We know Mark Pope has money to burn. He's not afraid to spend it, especially on players that fit his system, which is exactly what Liam McNeeley does. And so I solely bring it up to very simply say that when I look at the situation involving Liam McNeeley, The longer this goes, the more it allows other schools to be involved. And here's the crazy part, too. It's late in the process. You thought he knew, and after the UConn visit, there was nothing scheduled. And so, again, maybe it ultimately means nothing. Maybe he ultimately gets that commitment and it's not a big deal, and UConn gets the commitment and whatever. But now all these schools that you thought were completely out of the mix can get back in. Is it Kentucky? Alvin Brooks, now the associate head coach or one of the lead assistants at Kentucky from Texas, do they get in? Does maybe Michigan get in? There's a lot of buzz about Michigan. We talked about them. First phone call Dusty May made as the Michigan head coach was to Liam McNeeley. And oh, by the way, there's going to be others. Arkansas's got money to burn. They're not going to be afraid to spend money if they can get that kid on campus. And so I would just tell you, just be on the lookout here, because I don't think I think if it was done to UConn, it would be done. I don't really understand why it hasn't happened already, unless there is some bad juju going on. But Liam McNeeley, that is your latest. I wish I had something better for you.